back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Shay, and on this channel I share all about the things that I love. So whether that's home decor or yummy recipes or just cozy life at home and my little routines, I really just love to share little snippets of my life and all of the things that I'm passionate about. So if that sounds like something you enjoy, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. But anyway, for today, I just wanted to bring you along on a casual Monday at home. It's actually the Monday after the 4th of July, so I hope that you all had such a fun holiday weekend. We didn't do anything too crazy over here. It was mainly just my husband and I, so we went to the park, we had a little picnic and played some games, and then we watched the fireworks from my in-laws' backyard, which was super fun, and we got to avoid all of the traffic. So that was really the extent of our actual 4th of July. The day before, we also went to the lake, which was really fun, very busy, and it was like super perfect day, very warm, and then all of a sudden it just like had a crazy windstorm. So we had our big canopy, we had our tables with our food and our games, and everything was just blowing everywhere. People's tents were flying. It was a whole thing. Anyway, that is what we did for the 4th of July. I would love to hear how you guys spent it. Speaking of 4th of July, there is a very loud truck outside our window driving by with a bunch of American flags on it. But now we are back. Today is Monday, and so we gotta get back to business. We got to get kind of a routine. I feel like lately I have just been lacking structure in every area of my life. I need to get into a better kind of workout routine, which I was doing so well with up until I had my kidney stone and had to have surgery, and just being down for 3 weeks really just threw me for a loop, and I am just very much not consistent anymore. So I would love to just start developing a little walking routine and workout schedule. And then I also want to kind of develop a schedule for meal planning, or at least maybe write out what meals we want each night so that we don't look at each other at 6 o'clock and wonder what we're having for dinner. So I thought maybe we could kind of create something like that. I also need to make a grocery list because we are running very low on groceries. So we're gonna tackle that. And honestly, I kind of want to develop a cleaning routine as well. I just kind of feel like I need a system where I do a little bit each day so that I'm just always staying on top of it. If you have a good system that works for your home, maybe you do like bathrooms on Monday or laundry on Tuesday or kitchen, on Wednesday, just something like that, let me know what works for you, because we're kind of everywhere right now. It doesn't help that our apartment is just really small and we're kind of running out of storage. I feel like we just kind of have things everywhere. Our storage closet is full. My husband's closet is in the guest room, which is just kind of a mixture of random throw pillows and seasonal decor, Halloween costumes, literally just everything. So I am kind of going on a tangent now, but I need more structure. So that's what we are doing today. We're gonna start by just tidying up our room a little bit, and then I'm gonna wash the sheets just so that they can be nice and clean for the week. And then in a little bit, I also want to make my very first sourdough discard recipe. I'm very nervous because I have never attempted anything with sourdough before, but I got a starter over the weekend, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, but I am just very excited to try that. I love anything sourdough. So we will try and do a little bit of baking later as my reward for getting some things done. So I hope that you guys enjoy and just like spending a very casual, normal Monday at home with me. But let's go ahead and just start with tidying up our room and washing the bedding. While I do my little bedroom reset, I thought it would be fun to hop on and answer some questions that I've seen in the comments, and also just some that I've come up with myself so that you guys can get to know me better. I actually did a little Q&A like this in my weekend home reset video a few weeks ago, and you guys seemed to like it. So we are going to do it again, and if you have any questions for future videos, just leave them in the comments. But first, I'll just go ahead and do a little rundown for those of you who are new here. So again, my name is Shay. I've been married to my husband Dylan for just over 2 years now. We celebrated our 2-year anniversary in June. So we've been married for 2 years, and we live in this little apartment together, and it's pretty cozy. I believe it's 900 square feet. So it is pretty small, but we love it. And on my channel, I just like to share how I decorate it and make it feel cozy, and all of my organization tips for apartments. So that's what you're going to see a lot of around here. But that is just the basics of who we are and what I post about for those of you that are new here. So now we're going to get into the first question, which is, do I consider myself a homebody? homebody or would I prefer to be out and having plans? And honestly, I feel like you can probably guess because of what I post about frequently, but I am a very big homebody. I love being at home, which is why I like to just make it feel very cozy and welcoming. And a lot of the hobbies that I enjoy are things that I do at home, like baking or decorating or crafting and reading. So that is why I like to be home a lot. But don't get me wrong, I do love to break out of the house because I am here a lot, especially where I work from home as well. So it is nice to get outside and go on a walk or have a picnic or do a little shopping day or hang with friends. So I do like to make plans, but I guess I would probably say that I lean more towards a homebody. But one thing about me though is that I absolutely love traveling. So I guess you could say I'd rather either be home or 2,000 miles away from home. I just have a huge travel bug and I want to see everything. I want to experience everything. And Dylan is actually in aviation school to be a commercial pilot. So I am very much looking forward to the free flights someday, which kind of leads me to my next question, which is what is my dream vacation? And I actually have a few. I feel like I'm always mentally planning vacations in my head, but I think the next big trip that we want to go on is somewhere in Asia. We've talked about either Thailand or Japan, and it is just so hard to choose, but I think that will probably be our next big vacation. But then my ultimate dream vacation that we will have to save up for is an African safari. I actually think I will cry when that day comes because it has just been on my bucket list for so long, but I would love to go to maybe Tanzania and Zanzibar and just have a very tropical destination, but also get to experience an African safari. So that sounds amazing to me. So those are my next dream vacations. But the next question that I wanted to answer is what is my favorite place that I've already been? And I just feel so grateful to have been so many beautiful places that I don't even know how I could pick just one. So we're gonna go with my top 4. For tropical, I would say Fiji and Costa Rica. They are just both so lush and pretty, and Fiji has the kindest people I've ever met. Honestly though, anywhere with a beach is just my happy place. So I would say those 2 for tropical. And then in Europe, I really loved Italy, specifically Venice. I don't think it's overrated at all. I loved the music. I loved the charming little stores that you could shop in, and the food was really yummy. So that is definitely a must-see in my opinion. And then also Switzerland, because the chocolate, number 1, of course, it is so yummy, but the views are just so breathtaking. There's just nothing else like it. So those are my top 4 favorite places that I've been, and I would actually love to know some of your favorite places as well so that we can just keep adding to our never-ending list of places we want to see. But I think we have time for one more question while I finish up this little cleaning portion. So we're gonna shift gears because I was kind of talking a little bit about structure and just wanting more of a routine. So the last question is, what area of your life do you hope to improve by the end of the year? And this question made me realize that we are already halfway through the year, which is so crazy. I feel like 2026 has just flown by. But really, when I thought about this question, the number one thing that I just want to improve by the end of the year is my consistency. And really, I feel like that can just go for every area of my life. So my consistency with working out, my consistency with scripture reading, with posting on YouTube and showing up regularly, and also with my photo business just to post on socials more often. And then just kind of having a consistent routine to stay on top of housework and just stay a little bit more organized. And all of this sounds like a lot. It feels like I have a lot to work on, which I do, but I just feel like the overall theme of each of these is just consistency and making sure I'm showing up every single day, because tiny, small bits of progress are still progress. And I just feel like I've kind of been going through waves where I feel very motivated, so I will do a bunch or post a bunch or work out very consistently, and then I will take a break. So I'll stop posting as often and the housework will go on the back burner and things just start to pile up. And I just feel like I go from 100 to 0 back to 100, and there's not really an in-between for me. So I'm just hoping to kind of level out and gain some consistency and remind myself that not every day needs to be 100% effort, and even just a little bit of effort is better than no effort at all. And let me know if you have any tips for that too. But that is all of my questions for now, so we will hop back into the video. Okay, it has been a little while. I washed the sheets in the bedroom and I tidied up the kitchen and just got a little bit of work done. And now I wanted to just sit down and take some time and kind of plan out our meals, kind of how I was talking about. I think what I want to do is basically create a theme for each night so that we're not really stuck to one specific meal each week, but rather like kind of a category that we can fit the different meals into. So I'll explain in just a second, but I found this in our guest bedroom. I forgot that we had this. We used to just write my husband's school schedule on here, and we don't really use it very often, so I decided to use it for our menu instead. So I think I'm going to write out the themes of our meals each week. So I have pulled up some different kind of theme ideas on Pinterest for the different nights, and I kind of like the alliteration vibe, or just kind of something fun. So for example, for Sunday, they have slow cooker Sunday, salad Sunday, soup Sunday, Southern Sunday. So you could just do a meal that fits kind of that theme. So I know for sure that I want to do a Taco Tuesday, which would basically just be Mexican food. We could do tacos, enchiladas, fajitas, anything like that. So I'm just going to write Taco Tuesday. Our neighbor's air conditioning just kicked on, so hopefully it doesn't make like an annoying little hum sound in the background. Okay, I like Taco Tuesday because then we could just do a variety of Mexican food. So that's what we're gonna do for that day. For Wednesday, they have Wok Wednesday, so like different stir fries. Wing Wednesday, that would be a good one. Let's see. I kind of want to do something with pasta, which obviously there's not a letter P day. Spaghetti Saturday. There are so many cute themes. I'm just on Pinterest. I don't know if you can see it great, but this one's Slow Cooker Monday. Then you can go down to Try It Out Thursday, Spaghetti Saturday. Just so many cute options. Okay, I think I'm gonna do Spaghetti Saturday, and that will be our pasta night. We're actually having spaghetti for dinner tonight, so Dylan is grabbing everything for that, which is why I don't exactly know if this structure is going to work, but we are just gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes, and if you have any tips, let me know in the comments. I do want to do a slow cooker one. Let's see. It doesn't necessarily need to be a slow cooker Sunday. It can be slow cooker Thursday. I just am making this more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, I'm gonna think on this. I'm gonna go through Pinterest for some ideas, and I will come back once I have kind of a better idea of our weekly schedule. Okay, it's been a while now, but I feel like I've landed on kind of a schedule that will hopefully be sustainable. I feel like it's still very flexible, but just gives us that structure that I'm looking for. So I will kind of read off what I have decided to do, and we're just gonna see how it goes. It may not stick, it might not work, and we might just be craving a different food on that night and just swap it out. So we will see. But for now, I have Spaghetti Sunday, which is basically just any pasta dish. So this can be spaghetti, chicken Alfredo, carbonara, marry me chicken, anything like that. And then on Monday, I did all American foods. So just your classic American comfort meals. Think barbecue chicken and potatoes, cheeseburger sliders or smash burgers. We could do steak or grilled chicken, just kind of anything that fits the all-American barbecue theme. And then for Tuesday, I didn't change that one. So that is still Taco Tuesday, which is just any Mexican cuisine. So we could do tacos, fajitas, enchiladas, taco salads, anything like that. Wednesdays I left empty because I felt like 3 days of cooking, we're gonna have some leftovers. So Wednesday is open. Thursday is Try It Thursday. So just any new dish we've been wanting to try. So anything that we see on Pinterest or TikTok, just anything that looks yummy. And then Friday I did Fun Friday because I thought it would be fun to do kind of like an interactive type meal, whether that be watching a show and eating a meal that they are also eating in the show, or something that's just a little bit more interactive like a pizza bar or fondue night, just something that we can kind of make a date out of. So that is Fun Friday. We could also just go get takeout that night as well. So that's what I have for Friday. And then Saturday is Slow Cooker Saturday, and there are a million different crock pot recipes. We could do different soups. We could do different pastas in the slow cooker. We could do chili. We could do like pulled pork or chicken for some sliders. So the possibilities are endless that way. And then we wrap back around to Sunday, which is again Spaghetti Sunday. So this is the little schedule. We'll see how it goes. I'll check back in with you guys in a week or so and see if we've stuck to it. When Dylan gets home, I am gonna ask him what he thinks. I'm sure he'll be happy with it. And then we can actually go through and start listing the dinners that we want under each category for this week and go grocery shopping. So Anyway, I just got done with that. Now I think that I want to get started on the discard recipe soon. And what I think I want to do for that is s'mores chocolate chip cookies. We're gonna see how it goes. Like I said, I don't know how they're gonna turn out. So we're gonna see how that goes, but I need some chocolate chips for that recipe, and I realized that we are all out, so I need to wait for Dylan to get home. He's gonna run by the store. He should be home in like 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will update you when I'm in the kitchen and ready to start baking. Okay, I'm in the kitchen, obviously, and now we are going to get started with our sourdough discard s'mores cookies, which I am so excited about. I love anything s'mores, and I just feel like it's the perfect little summer treat, and I also need to just add a little treat to our cake stand on the island. So I'm very excited to try these. And I actually also just got a package that arrived from Amazon. This weekend when I decided to start my sourdough journey, I just went on Amazon and ordered a bunch of different things. So I got a little Dutch whisk and bread lame to score the sourdough when I make the loaves. But I actually didn't realize that the Dutch oven that I bought actually comes with all of those things, along with a little scraper and some cleaning brushes and a banneton and a bunch of things that I also ordered separately. So I have 2 more bannetons coming. I have some reusable bowl covers. I just have a variety of things, and some of those are actually going to be included in that Dutch oven set. So I guess I'll just have duplicates of some. That's okay. Cute. It looks like this, just a really pretty wooden handle. And then I'm pretty sure in this bag is all of the different razors that you can score the bread with. So it looks like this, and you just thread it on to your little tool here so that you can score your loaves. And to be honest, I know nothing about any of that, but when I make my loaf, probably later this week, I will look into all of that. So I grabbed that, and then this is a Dutch whisk. So this is what this looks like. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be. So that is what came today, and then tomorrow I should be getting my Dutch oven. I got a really cute oval Dutch oven, and then I got a set of oval bannetons and those reusable bowl covers. So I'll have to show those in a different video, but that is what came today. Oh, look at this. How to score bread. Perfect. There's a bunch of different oval bread cuts on this side, round bread cuts on this side. That will be very helpful. I'm gonna hang on to that. But now I'm gonna grab everything out that we need for our s'mores cookies. I just have my iPad here, and the recipe that I found is just on Pinterest. It's the very first one that pulled up when I searched sourdough discard s'mores cookies. So I will link it in the description box below if you wanna make them with me. But I'm just gonna grab everything out and we will go ahead and get started. Okay, I just set out all of my ingredients here. So I have baking powder, baking soda, salt, flour, sugar, vanilla extract, brown sugar, half a cup of unsalted butter, eggs, my sourdough discard that is unfed, semi-sweet chocolate chips, some graham crackers that I need to crush up, and then I only have big marshmallows right now. The recipe calls for mini marshmallows, so I think I'm just going to cut them up and just have it equal a cup. So that is everything that I have, and I think I'm going to get started first with just browning the butter so that when it cools, I can start crushing up the graham crackers and cutting up the marshmallows. So we're getting started with browning the butter, like I said, and I just have a medium-sized saucepan, and I'm turning the heat on medium heat. It's about a 4 right now. And now I'm adding in my 2 sticks of butter that will give me 1 cup. And brown butter is super yummy. It kind of has more of a nutty taste. It's just really yummy and really just enhances the flavor of your cookie. So we're just going to add this in and let this start melting. Okay, so I just grabbed a rubber spatula and I'm just gonna kind of move these around while they start melting. Basically what you're looking for is it to start being really foamy, and it is going to turn kind of this golden brown color and start having that nutty aroma that I talked about. Once it starts to get that, along with a few little brownish black flakes, then you will remove it from the heat. There are so many tutorials on how to actually brown butter if you need a little bit more help, but it really isn't as intimidating as it sounds. So it's all all melted now, and you can see it's just starting to lightly foam. You're gonna keep going until it gets pretty foamy and starts to turn that golden color like I talked about. So just keep stirring to keep it moving so that it doesn't burn, because it does brown pretty quickly once it starts to heat up. Starting to foam up now. You can see it's just turning this nice golden color. I'm just gonna go for a tiny bit longer. It's really foamy now, and it's kind of hard to see the color of the butter, but it is turning a nice golden color. So I'm just gonna keep going for about another minute. I've been going for probably close to 3 minutes at this point. Now I am going to just take it off of the heat completely. So this is how the butter looks. You can see it's just a nice golden brown color, which is exactly what we want. So I'm gonna let that cool for 10 to 15 minutes. I also preheated the oven to 350. And while this cools, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with crushing up the graham crackers and chopping up the marshmallows. So I need a cup of mini marshmallows and a cup of crushed graham crackers. So I'm gonna start with the marshmallows here. And these are clean scissors. They're used for the kitchen. So I'm just going to use these to kind of chop up the marshmallows into smaller bits. I just finished chopping up the marshmallows so that they are mini marshmallow size, and they stuck to my fingers so bad. So what I ended up doing for the rest of them was actually using some nonstick spray. So I just sprayed my fingers and it worked so much easier. So if you don't have mini marshmallows on hand and you're also having to chop up the larger ones, just spray a little bit of this on your hands and you won't have a bunch of marshmallows sticking to them. I definitely learned that the hard way. But now I am going to chop up these graham crackers. I also need a cup of these, so I'm just going to use my little food processor, I think, just to make it super easy, and we will chop them up and add them to it. Okay, I just finished crushing up the graham crackers, and now I'm moving over to my KitchenAid. So we're gonna get started with mixing our butter and sugar and brown sugar. So your browned butter should be pretty cooled by now, and I'm just going to add that in. I'll just scrape out all of those little flakes. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a half cup of granulated sugar and 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And now I'm just going to use my paddle attachment to mix it until it's super smooth and creamy. Okay, now I'm going to add my sourdough discard to this mixture. I've measured out 120 grams, or half a cup of my unfed starter. I'm just going to add that in here. Now I'm going to add my 2 eggs. And then a tablespoon of vanilla extract. This kind of looks like a lot. I'll just continue to mix this until it's smooth again. Okay, the next step is to mix all of our dry ingredients. So I have a separate bowl here that I'm going to add all of those to. So we need 2.5 cups or 315 grams of all-purpose flour. Now we need a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. I'm just gonna use a fork here to kind of mix these well, and then we'll add them to our wet ingredients in the KitchenAid bowl. Okay, I just went ahead and gradually added in my dry ingredients into the wet ingredient mixture. I just did it very slowly and I mixed it just until combined. So now I'm actually going in with my rubber spatula here and just kind of mixing it by hand. The dough is pretty sticky, and I still need to add in the graham crackers and the chocolate chips and marshmallows. So I'm gonna grab all of those now. So here is a cup of chopped graham crackers, a cup of my chopped marshmallows. They're very sticky. And then 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. And I'm just going to mix these all in by hand. We'll try and separate the marshmallows as best as we can as well. Okay, I just finished mixing the dough. This is what it looks like. It seriously looks and smells so yummy. So now you actually cover it, which I didn't read ahead of time, so I shouldn't have preheated the oven already. But you're going to cover it and let it refrigerate for 30 minutes to an hour. You can also leave it overnight. So I'm just going to use some plastic wrap here, and we will just place this over it and pop it in the fridge. And this will actually give me time to tidy up the kitchen before we start scooping all of these. Okay, I just took them out of the oven and transferred them to this cooling rack. I decided to add some extra marshmallows and chocolate chips on the top just before they were finished. So the marshmallows on top didn't get very brown, but that's okay. They look so good, and I think we need to try them. So I'm gonna bring my husband over and we're gonna give them a taste test. Okay, we have our cookie.
Looks so good.
I'm excited, but I'm kind of scared. Let's see the bottom. Nice and golden. Ooh, is it cooked all the way? Yeah. Okay.
We're going in.
Cheers.
Mmm. Good.
Mm-hmm.
That was very good.
The edges are nice and crispy, but the middle is super gooey from the marshmallows.
Done.
So good. This is actually so good.
Done.
What do you give them?
10.
Really?
Easily.
Really?
Yeah.
They are so
good.
good. I'll leave the recipe down below if you guys want to make them. I have several more in the oven. I think it made 18 total, and they're pretty good size. They're big cookies. Not crumble big, if you know how big crumble cookies are, but pretty close.
Yeah,
Right?
they're a good size.
Yeah. So yummy, but I'm a mess, so I'm gonna go clean up.